Okay, this will be a lot to cut out, but I'm doing this in a hurry because I started this without even thinking about it. But this is okay. This is the gravy mixture, which was one package of McCormick's gravy au juice. Basically 3 cups of water in a little pan like that, a little saucepan, and then you put a quarter cup of flour in there, and then you whisk in, as it's getting hot, you whisk in your gravy mix. The other thing to remember is to get all your ingredients opened up and on the counter so you're not creating such a mess. It just works better. Um, and we're just continuing on. And I'm going to butcher the crap out of this because I had a really bad potty mouth. Here I'm grabbing onion powder, garlic powder, and the panko breadcrumbs for the actual meat part of the Salisbury steak. Here I'm chopping the meat, or the, oh my god, chopping the meat. Chopping the onions up and stuff like that. And I'm trying to do better. I completely blew this when I recorded it. I really sounded like a real sailor, so I'm editing this really, really crazy and that kind of thing. So this is the onion chopping. This goes right into the crock pot. You can brown them first with your, but you really don't have time because you're searing the steaks 2 minutes on each side. Here I'm grabbing the panko breadcrumbs. Okay, with the meat, what did I do? Tablespoon of garlic powder, tablespoon of onion powder, and 1 egg, and a half a cup of panko breadcrumbs, which is too much for 1 pound. So I would say 30% of a cup. You know, you're working up to 50. Only go to 50 for 2 pounds of meat, but you got to use what you had. That's what I had thought. I mean, I got a crap ton of this stuff in the freezer. So, anyway, moving on. Here I'm really working the meat just like you're making a mixed loaf. You got to get in there and really get it like that. And then I just start breaking it apart and making basically kind of like an oval shaped 4 hamburger patties, but they're a little bit thicker in the middle. Um, and they go into the pan and you sear them 2 minutes each side. Not to be repetitive, but the searing is 2 minutes on each side, and that's what's making. It's 2 minutes on each side, basically like that. So, moving on. Here I'm grabbing the pan. This is to spray inside the crock pot, cooking pot, whatever, ceramic pot. I just saw that. This recipe was developed by myself looking at, I don't know, 5 or 6 Salisbury steak videos, which I appreciate everybody putting them out on YouTube because I didn't know you could do this. And this is actually, it's pretty good. When I had it for dinner, it was very good. Here I'm putting the ingredients inside the crock pot, and I take a practice from a bread machine with all the liquids and seasonings in there. Everything except your meat, but mostly liquids and things like that. And any small items that you're going to put in there, such as the chopped onion. Um, it's pretty good with the recipe and stuff like that. And I did text to speak to whatever, write the recipe down so I won't get a case of the dumbasses and forget it. 1 can of mushroom soup goes in. Cream of mushroom soup, Campbell's. Okay? And you just grab that spoon and mix it all up. And that's pretty much it. And then you just lay your patties in, and we'll go from there. Now, I cooked this 4.5 hours. That timing, I'm going to play with it. I had it on high for 4.5 hours. I'm going to stop it here for a second. Here I start placing the patties in. You get them in the corners away from what you're doing. And then I place, like I said, one at a time. Cover them up with the material. The other direction too, if you're using 6 to 8 patties and you have a small 6-quart crock pot like this is, you can, they call it pyramid style, but basically you're laying half the patty on the bottom and half the patty on top of the next one to it. Like that, basically. Overlapping them like you do a roof, kind of like that. If that makes any sense. Or like you see shingles on a roof. So, moving on. A crock pot is very hot, and then you'll see me messing with the GFI inlet every time I plug the crock pot in there. It cuts the circuit. I don't understand why, but they both work fine when you reset it. So, but anyway, I keep the crock pot. I don't know why, but they're all metal. I used to have an old ceramic one that you could put on the counter and it was all right, but like everything else, it's not the best thing, okay? And then you just set it for 4 hours, put it on, and let it go. And I'm going to chop it here because I don't know what is left, but I think you watch me clean up the kitchen and stuff like that. But it's a mess, and I know clutter, different things. I've had 2 or 3 projects going on, fixing the utility trailer with the wiring and all that kind of stuff, and I got stuff all over the counters and all over the other ways and stuff like that. But anyway, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. I'm going to cut the rest of this off, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.